Welcome everyone to our class, Business Registration and Compliance. Now, basically, this class aims to impact the knowledge, the foundational knowledge, the introduction knowledge that one needs when registering business. Because you as accountants, sometimes clients will come direct to you and they will say, I have a business, I want to register, how help me with the registration of business. So this class is going to help you in that manner, or in when you're establishing your own practice and accountants, so that you can know some of the things that are required or needed when registering a business. After that introduction, let us go now to the prerequisites. Now, in my experience, one of the things that you need to have in Tanzania before considering registration of a business, first, your NIDA number. Second, your TIN number. And I'm going to explain why. Because nowadays in Tanzania, when you're registering a business, we do all these processes online through BRELA online platform. Now, in the BRELA online platform, there will be a form there. Now, in that form, you'll fill your NIDA number. And once you fill your NIDA numbers, all the details that you are in the NIDA number, they'll be filled in that form. That's one. Second, you must have an individual TIN number. Okay. Also, in that form online on the BRELA system, once you fill your TIN number, and then the platform, the BRELA platform, will check the TIN number with TRA, and then you proceed. Now, sometimes what usually happens is this. Let's say somebody, they had their TIN number before we had this NIDA system, because if you know, NIDA system is quite new. We didn't have it before. So you find that the names which are on the TIN number and on the NIDA, they are different, but even though they refer to a same person. Now, this usually causes problems, because when you put all these numbers in the system will not be able to confirm that this is the same person. So if you're in that position, they say that the names are different, then you should make sure that you make the steps to make sure that the names are the same. So if on the NIDA number is Godfrey Bathy, then on the TIN number, it should be Godfrey Bathy. Now, sometimes people change their names, example, due to marriages or other factors. And then once we come to register in the business name, we usually face this problem. So this is something which I really want to stress, that you should make sure that your name matches on your NIDA and on your TIN number, so that when you are registering you're registering the business, it doesn't cause problem. And also, if some other people, even up to this moment, they do not yet have a NIDA number, so they should make a follow-up to acquire one. Or some other people, they have a NIDA number, but they do not have an individual TIN number. So when you are in the field or someone comes to you, you should advise them that when they register a business, they should make sure that these two items are in order, because everywhere we go, from BRELA to TRA to the municipal platform for acquiring business, all these details, they'll be required. There is no way around them. Okay, so that is something that I really wanted to stress, to emphasize, because it usually causes a lot of challenges as a prerequisite before we even start beginning registering the business. Now, let us go to the types of businesses that we'll be discussing today. There are three types, which for our session, we are going to discuss. Those are sole proprietorship, partnership, and company. And company, we're going to discuss specifically a private company. Now, let's begin with sole proprietorship. Now, sole proprietorship is one of the easiest business to to register, because in sole proprietorship, what you usually need is a business name. So once you have a business name, you go to BRELA and register it. Once you register it on the online system, this when register sole proprietorship, the only documentation you're going to have is from the BRELA system. Once you register, the BRELA system is going to register what we call a consolidated form. You're going to sign it, and then you're going to upload it. Once your registration is approved, then you have a sole proprietorship. However, this is something else to note about sole proprietorship in legal sense. When you register a sole proprietorship, it does not separate you. It does not create a separate entity. Basically, if you say in your sole proprietorship business, you go into debt, and people, they have the right to recover their debt by taking your private property. So it does not separate your business and your private properties. This is one of the things that you need to keep in mind. It is easy to register, but that's one of the challenges. That's one of its features, not a challenge, its features, that there's no separation between the private and the business when you register a sole proprietorship. Second, let us go to partnership. Now, in sole proprietorship, it's only a single person. But in a partnership, it's two people or more, they can enter into a partnership. Now, when they enter into a partnership, they have to sign a partnership deed, which is a partnership agreement. Now, in the partnership agreement, it's going to spell out all the business, all the business requirement and the relationship between those partnerships. It's going to spell out the capital of the business. It's going to spell out how the accounting of the business is going to be done. It's going to spell out how much investment each partner is going to bring into the partnership. That's the partnership deed. And also, when registering a partnership, you only need a business name, or you can even have it in your own names. You can say Godfrey and John something something, or you can come up with another business name. For us lawyers, when we open law firms and if you're not sole proprietor, we usually enter into a partnership when we establish a law firm. So that's a partnership. You need a partnership deed. Second, once you fill the form on the BRELA online platform for registered business, you'll also get a consolidated form whereby you are going to lay out what type of business the partnership is going to concern itself. If it's law, if it's a shop, or any other business, you are going to lay out both in the partnership deed, also in the consolidated form. Once you have completed filling out the form, then you can go to the next step where you submit the form. And once BRELA has approved your registration, then you'll have a partnership. Just to go back to sole proprietorship, once your registration is completed, you will receive what we call a certificate of registration. And then you will take that certificate of registration to TRA now so that they can register your business. And then there at TRA, since this is a sole partnership, what they are going to do, they are going to convert your TIN number from individual to a business, but the number is going to say the same, but only now it's going to say that this TIN number is also going to be used for business. And then once now you have your certificate of registration and your TIN number, then you can go and seek the business license using the municipal online platform for acquiring business license is called TAWCA. So those are the documentation plus some other attachment that may be needed specific to your business. The same with partnership. After registration for BRELA, they are going to give you a certificate of registration. That's the first document. And the second document is called an extract from the registrar. You are going to take these two documents to TRA for registration of a TIN number. Now, since this is a partnership and you are two or more people, your business is going to be given a unique TIN number separate from your individual's TIN number. And then you are going to take this TIN number to the municipal for acquiring a business license. Now that's a partnership. Also, in partnership, as it is in sole proprietor, it does not create a separation from your private to your business. Meaning, in a partnership, when you have debt, example, you can be held reliable privately, and people might use your private property to recover their debt. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why you should be very careful whom do you enter into a partnership, because there are many cases, two people enter a partnership, one of the partnership enters into an agreement to do something but does not communicate with the other partnership, and then there is a lawsuit or there are complaints, and then you find yourself in trouble. So this is one of the things that to take note for sole proprietorship and the partnership, that these businesses, they do not create a separation from your private to your from your business to your private when it comes to risk management, when it comes to liability. Let's go now to the third business.
Godfrey,
Yes.
I don't know which methodology would be better to use, because as you go, people, they're asking questions. Should we respond to the questions based on the slide that you have presented when someone is asking on the recent platform? Maybe you can respond to the question and proceed to the next slide.
I think we should do.
Let's ask. Yes, what?
I was saying that
Go ahead.
if people have questions, they should note them down, and then at the end we are going to have an extensive question and answer session.
Okay.
Yes.
That's well noted.
Yes. So
Thank you.
yes. If people have questions, they should just take note of them, and then after I'm done, we are going to have an extensive question and answer session.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Now we are into a company, specifically a private company. In Tanzania, we have two types of company, private and the public company. But for our session, we are going to deal with the private company because in our profession, we'll be mostly dealing with this type of company. Now, when registering a company, it creates what we say a separate legal person. It creates an entity. This separates you from your private it separates your private matter and your business matter. A company can be held liable under its own name. Also, a company can take loans and all those other things are under its own name, because legally a company creates a separate legal entity apart from your private entity. Now, what are the requirements for registering a company? Now, a private company should have two persons to start a company, and it can go up to 50 persons. Now, if there are more than 51, that's considered a public company. But for our case, we are not going to touch on that. We are going to focus on the private company. So when you have 2 or more persons, you can form a company. You are also going to need another third person, a company secretary. Now, the company secretary will handle the legal matters of the company, specifically because the 2 persons or more, they are going to be the shareholders of the companies. As shareholders of the company, they form the board of directors. So when this board of directors have their board meeting, the company secretary will be there to take notes and also to make sure that the company complies with all relevant matters and also handling all the legal matters of the company. That's one. Second, the documentation you're going to need when you register a company, first of all, is memorandum and article of association of a company. In the memorandum and article of association of a company is basically, we can simply refer to it as the constitution of the company. That's what basically it spells out. It spells out what business the company is going to undertake on its first part, and also it spells out the share capital of the company, and also it spells out the ownership of the shareholders. If, example, said there are 2 people in the company as shareholders, if the shareholder is going to be 50-50, or if it's going to be 70-30, or 99%, another 1%, all those type of things is going to be spelled out in that memorandum and article of association of a company, or in short, people refer to it as MEMAT. That's on the first part. On the second part, the MEMAT is going to spell out the regulation of the company and how it's going to be run, like the general meeting of the companies, the directors of the companies, how to appoint the directors, and all those other things they're going to spell out on the MEMAT, on the second part of the memorandum and article of association of a company. This is the first document. The second document, which is required when registering a company, we call it Form 14.2b. Form 14.2b basically confirms the address of the company. Is going to be signed by one of the directors. Another document when registering a company is an integrity form. Basically, as a company, you're in that integrity form, you're going to pledge that as a company, you're not going to engage in criminal activities. And then the fourth form is the consolidated form, which is generated after filling the form on the BRELA system. Now, the information on the consolidated form is going to be more or less the same, the information on the MEMAT, especially when it comes to the type of businesses that the company is going to engage in, the breakdown of the shareholding, the directors, and all those sort of things. They are going to be contained in that consolidated form. Once all these documentation have been signed, and also the company memorandum of association has also been attested by a lawyer, then they are uploaded to the BRELA system, and then you wait for the registration of the company. So this is the process of registering a company. Now, once the company is registered, you are going to get what we call a certificate of incorporation. Now, this is the certificate that your company has been registered. It's going to be given a number. And then now, after the registration, then we can take that certificate and we can go with it to TRA now for the registration of the company's team. And then after all the compliance at TRA have been done, then now we can go to the municipal to get the business license for that specific company. And the municipal, they have their own online system called TAWCA, where you can secure a business license specifically for that business. Now, as we have seen, the differences between these businesses, as I've said, a company creates a separate legal entity compared to sole proprietorship and partnership. What does this help? It helps in risk management, because if a sole proprietorship and or into a partnership, you are held liable individually. There's no separation. But a company is held liable as a company under its own name. And also, a sole proprietorship and a partnership, they cannot acquire property under their own name. All the properties which are going to be acquired in the business of a sole proprietorship or partnership, they are going to be in the names of the owners of that businesses. Now, in a company, since it's a separate legal entity, it can acquire properties under its own name. So you can have a company acquire land, acquire all other properties in the running of that business under its own name, because it's a separate legal entity. Once you have your business registration, there are some post-registration compliance matter to attend to. Now, most of these post-registration matter, they usually concern complying with the tax law in Tanzania. For companies, a company is required to pay corporate tax. Also, if it qualifies for VAT, it also required to comply with that. And also, it also, a company annually is also required to file return to BRELA. Now, when you find these annual returns, the company must have audited reports for that specific company. Since you guys are familiar, you are aware of these audited reports. With that said, now I welcome questions. Madam Tumaini.
Thank you, Godfrey.
Yes.
Yeah, we have the first question here. Someone is asking, what is the process if you decided to discontinue the business / sole proprietor and move to the employment? What will be the process like?
You decide to discontinue the business.
Yes, because you have used your team for a business and you want to carry on with maybe employment and you want to discontinue the business.
You are sole proprietor.
What is the yes?
Basically, there are two. First of all, you start with TRA. You just communicate to them that I want to stop doing this business because of you give out your reasons, and the TRA, what they are going to do, they are going to make sure that you don't have any pending taxes that you have not paid. Once you don't have any of those things paid, once you pay them, if they are, and then your business will be stopped. And then you also go to BRELA, and then you ask for, you also make the same application that I am stopping this business. So that's the process. You start with TRA, You write to them a
And
letter.
the other,
Yes.
George, are you okay with that? You have an extension question on top of that?
Yes, no, I think it's quite clear. Thank you for the insights. So just needed to
Okay.
know that if you do decide yes to discontinue and maybe say that I don't want to do business anymore, do you get a TIN certificate which says it's non-business? Because there was a mention that if you are an individual and you decide to start business, they will issue you a TIN which is a business TIN.
Okay. Now for sole proprietorship, your TIN remains the same. Okay.
Yeah, the TIN number doesn't change.
Yes, it doesn't change, but the only thing they add is that you say this TIN number now is also used for business. But since now you have communicated to the TRA that you have stopped the business, it means now they are going to treat the TIN number as individual.
Okay, and do they reprint the TIN, or is it's just recorded on their system and that's sufficient?
Yeah, it's recorded on the system.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and Rehema is asking, is the business license provided by municipal or BRELA?
Okay. Now there are two types of business. There is Class A and the Class B. For most of us, Class A is provided by BRELA, if I'm not mistaken, but Class B is provided by municipal. For most of us, we are going to seek businesses from the municipal. Why do we seek those businesses? Because our businesses, they are local in nature. That's the difference.
So Godfrey, I have an extension question on that. What types of business that you say this, what is the characteristics, should I say, that you say this business is in category A? What makes that the business not local and this is not
Okay. Now regarding that question, I think I'll share more information after this session, and then you're going to share with your colleagues.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a number for integrity form? Someone is asking, do you have a number for integrity form?
Do you have the number?
I don't.
Basically, let me explain it. Now, when you just say a business, I say use the BRELA online system. Now, once you go through all the steps, at the end of the steps, the system will generate the integrity form, and then you download it, you print it and sign it, and then you'll upload it. Hope that's clear.
Okay. Gary, are you okay with that response, Emma? Gary? Okay, Gary is not here. Let me go to Elizabeth is asking, after how long should a person take his or her business to be registered?
How long? Oh, I think the question is how long does it take to register a business?
I think Elizabeth, what she meant, like in Tanzania, most of the business, you just start without any registration. And
yes,
now you want to put your business form. It's like you want to formalize your business. That's what she's asking.
Okay. Now, in my experience, this usually happens. A lot of people, they do their business without registration. Now, as their business grow, they will come into a certain stand. Example, let's say somebody wants to supply something to a company or to a government entity. Once they go there, those people, they will tell us, bring us your registration document, or we want to have an AFD receipt. Now, once these people, they start looking for AFD receipt, that they are told that you should first register your business. So that usually happens because people, they'll do their business. Now, once they reach a certain state, they usually face challenges. Now they start to register a business. But legally speaking, doing a business without registration is illegal. Yeah, I should just put it out there. Even though people do it, yes, yeah, a lot of people do it, but you should just know that it's illegal and you can be charged. Yes. So and in a better world, everybody, they will register their business, they will have their TIN number, or they have their business license. But sometimes there are challenges, especially when it comes to cost associated with running a business.
Godfrey, is that not subject to the size of the business? Assuming that I said vitumbua, is that an illegal, like you have not registered for?
Technically speaking, this usually happens. We have these machingas. Okay. Now, most of those people, they're not registered, to be honest. Okay. But they are encouraged to register because technically speaking, all of us, every Tanzania, anybody who earns an income, they have to pay tax. Okay. So when you buy, there's VAT, there are those things, we have to pay them. That's in a better world. But in reality, most people they don't, like those small business person, and most of the time they usually no follow-up. Okay. But sometimes there is. Okay. But in a better world, everybody will be registering. But for some other people, registration, also complying with these things, they can be expensive, especially for a company. So if a small business, people do without registration, maybe they pay those local fees, whatever, if they're in the market or something like that. But that's the reality.
Okay.
Yes.
And Frank is asking, thank you for a presentation. What is the difference between a company, private, and organization? If they differ, where do we register profit-based organization? All right. Godfrey, have you got that question? I think.
What's the difference between a company and the organization? A profit-based organization. Now, basically, if you start because our class today is focused on business, but there are different types of organization. Example, like your organization there, it's not a business, okay? And also there are NGOs, okay? Now, all those other things, they have their own mechanism for registration, which is out of our scope of our class today. But if you start something to generate profit, that's a business. You have to register it as a business. Now, if you start something not for the generation of profit, but maybe say for social effects, you can register it as an NGO. Or if you register something like for membership, like your organization for accountants, it has its own mechanism of registration because those are not business. I think that clears it up.
Yeah, Godfrey. I mean, Frankie. Is your question answered?
Yeah, thank you. I understood.
Okay, and what happened when someone director dies and the other are only two directors? I think someone is asking if one of the business director has died, what will happen? So,
thank you for the question. As I said, in registering a company, there's that document, memorandum and article of association, of a company, which is basically a guiding a constitution of a company, but we don't call it a constitution. Now, in that document, it spells out what happens when a director dies, because the director owns the shares of the company. Now, shares, they are treated just like they are treated as property of a company, which means that those shares, they will transfer to whomever the directors, how should I put it? They will transfer, let's say, if the director said that once I die, maybe this share, they go to my family, to my wife, to my kids, to my whatever, they'll be inherited, those shares. This usually happens, as you can see, in America, there is that company, Walmart. Now, the person who started Walmart has already passed away, but now I think it's his grandkids who own the company. So when a director passes by, those shares, they'll be inherited by whomever the director said that once I passed away, this share should be inherited, because they are treated as property.
Yeah, in addition to that, I think in response to what Salama is asking, we as accountant, we have we are actually, we have a professionalism which is called is it it's an arrangement of will.
Yes.
So it depends with what is the content of your will, and I think the owner will decide whom you want to
basically
to get. Yes, because it's those are about will arrangement. If you decide your wife to take over, you will decide your child to take over, so it should be in your personal arrangement. And assuming that you have not done such arrangement, we have something called mirathi. Means someone will work on that, and what process na kujua who is entitled to take over your shares or whatever you are having. Yeah, and I still few questions here. Do we have a few questions? What happened? All right. No, I don't have any other question. I wanted to ask a question. Assuming that I'm not Tanzanian and I want to register my business here in Tanzania, I think you mentioned about the NIDA and the TIN number. They are all documents owned by Tanzanians. What, assuming I'm not Tanzanian, what document they will need for my business registration?
Okay. If you're not Tanzanian, you're going to use your passport. You're going to use a passport for registration. However, that foreigner should have a permit which allows him to work in Tanzania. They should seek that first from the immigration, that they have come in Tanzania to start a business or to work or to anything. Once they receive the permit, then they can proceed now to register a business. And then they should also acquire a TIN as non-Tanzanian. That is also possible. But the most important thing, they should have a permit from the immigration office, which allows them to do business.
Okay. Before George, Zakia, can I ask you a question? I think yes, I do remember. And you may skip your question. I wanted to ask it, and again, I was hesitating. I felt like something I couldn't understand it well. Zakia, do you want to ask your question? You can use the platform. Zakia, are you here? Yes. Okay. Oh. No, Zakia is not responding to me. Let me try to read the question.
There's a hand here from.
Go ahead, Zakia.
I asked when is the due dates to file return to BRELA and how much is charged for penalties?
Okay. In most cases, you are to file the the return to BRELA before the year ends. So it means during the December, that's when you are to file your returns.
Okay.
Yes.
And you want to know the penalty, Zakia? Are you planning to get a penalty?
No,
Zakia, you have
But
to
I
plan
know-
to
know
comply, my sister. Okay. George, welcome. George, you have raised up your hands. Karibu.
Yes, sure. Asante sana. Once again, thank you for the good presentation. Just wanted to know, we were talking
Yes.
about business and particularly the example that you give, Madam Tumaini, I liked it. We do have the informal sector that does businesses. What happens and what are your thoughts about those who do business, particularly at large scale with high volumes and high returns on agricultural produce like exporting pulses, cashew nuts? Because many a times when we visit those organizations or businesses that are actually purchasing this directly either from farmers or from middlemen, they don't have adequate supporting receipts or fiscal receipts in particular. What's your take and views about this?
Oh, okay. Now, this is a challenge when it comes to compliance. Most people, when doing business, they do not have those EFD receipts. This is something even TRA encourages businesses to comply with. It's a challenge. That's one of the challenges that we are facing it. And also, one of the challenges we're also facing as Tanzania, we have a problem when it comes to documentation. Okay. Now, these are some of the challenges that we have in our sector. So there are different ways that they can be solved. One of them is education, educating people, understanding the importance of complying with these things. So this is a challenge which we are facing, unfortunately.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
And Godfrey, can you tell us a little bit of why I should think of registering my company, forgetting about, ukiacha issue ya loan, that I'll be able to acquire loan from the bank. And I have my local business and which is operating.
Yes.
Maybe what should be something to push me to do the registration of the company?
Oh, okay. Thank you for the question. Basically, what usually happens is this. Excuse me. We start our business. The business starts small, and then it keeps growing. Now, once it grows, you as a business partner, now you also want to engage in other stuffs. Example, some people, they want to pay your business not in cash. They want to pay your business through a bank account which has your business name. Now, if you go to the bank and you say, I want to register a bank account under my business, they're going to tell you, bring all the documentation from BRELA, from TRA, your business license, and what have you, in order to register, in order to have a bank account under the business name. Sometimes you might want to supply something to whatever organization. And those people, they might tell you that we want to deal with a fully registered business. Because remember now, you accountants understand this, because those business, they have to account where the money has been spent. So so once they say that this money was paid to Tumaini, why Tumaini? But if they say the money was paid to a company, it makes things easier. So basically, you can do your business as registration, but it will come at some point. You are going to face challenges. And also something else also which is very important, it also it helps in building trust, because not everybody knows you. Some people, they might conduct a due diligence. Now, once they found that some of your documentation in order, they might hesitate to do business with you. And also something else, as I said, under the laws we have, if you have a business, you must register, must comply with the law. Does it mean that everybody does it? No, but that's a challenge. But you should also keep that in mind, because it also might get you into some legal trouble.
Actions.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you so much, Godfrey. I think we have actually we have gone through all the questions on the chat box. If you have any question before we go to the end of the session, you can raise up your hand. You can ask a question directly, or you can also type on the chat box. But we are about to finish, so it's good to use the platform. If you just want to ask your question, you raise up your hand and you speak it up. And while we are actually waiting for those who are thinking of the question, maybe you are trying to put together your concept, I would welcome Godfrey. Maybe if you have anything that you would love to make as a conclusion of this presentation, you are welcome.
Oh, first of all, thank you for this opportunity, for inviting me to do this session. I appreciate it. Second, after this class, I'm going to share a PDF and also a link to an article which I wrote about these things, so that it can be used for reference in future.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this is Godfrey. As you see, they have all the contact here, phone number you can access, and their offices, but also you can ask for advice if you fail your business by any chance. And thank you so much, Godfrey. On behalf of the family of women accountants and those people who are not member of TAWCA here, women and men, we want to appreciate for your time and thinking of sharing as what you shared at the beginning, like you love imparting materials to other people. And I should say thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
And
having me.
may God bless you.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah. Habari ya jioni. I wish you a beautiful evening. Enjoy the weekend. The weekend is too long. You have more 2 days to go.